general election is Tuesday, November 6th. And joint village and town meeting is September 10th. And it'll be in this building, I think. Special workshop Monday, September 10th at 5:30. That's just for us. Okay. Reports from town officers. Is there a justice report?
No.
Is there a Mary Jo support? Report? Not support, report?
I didn't do one this time.
Oh, all right. Budget office report, that's yours. Okay, for the ending of August 31st, in the general fund A, we had revenues of $3,741.78. We had expenditures in the general fund A of $21,655.43. General fund B revenues was $2.05. General fund B expenditures was $645.90. The DA highway revenue account was $13.49. The DA highway expense account was $1,708.60. The DB highway revenues is $13,970.09. The DB highway expenses is $61,751.71. In the regular checkbook, it's $43,931.96. Money market account is $763,925.52. Sales tax year to date is $156,940.38. Alrighty, now it says town clerk's report. You got one there someplace. Check to the supervisor, $247.17. I know there must have been hunting licenses and all kinds of things this go around.
There sure was.
Come on, son. Say that straight.
Yeah, but when she screwed there.
Town clerk, that's a check to the supervisor. Rose trained with the village clerk. Oh, that's Rose is your last name?
It is my
Oh, okay, Dawn, trained with the village clerk and will continue training for water billing. Okay, very good. I was trying to figure out who's Rose.
Me too sometimes.
Okay, the storage reports on file, Bonnie, Park Commission. It's not here where I can read it, right?
Yeah, it is. Why don't you follow this?
I gotta scroll down further. to
Yeah,
that.
you follow that, and then we'll get you to the, where's the minutes? There's my report. And, okay. So now you're here.
Okay. Sorting and researching for the town line business, okay. That's for the general fund. All right. Storeland Park Commission, dog control, TJ?
It's been quiet.
Very
I'll
nice.
leave it at that.
That's a good thing. And I know it's working because my phone ain't ringing. My phone used to ring, so.
I've had a couple weeks of kind of quiet.
Yeah. Planning Commission, fire, I don't really think too much going on with fire, but, there's always classes going on, I know that for a fact. Harold, is anything for Rams?
Nope.
Tim Grippo?
Yeah, I have a written report,
Okay.
grade, and we can discuss.
All right. Okay. Good.
As you see, with the, with the extreme winter and the paved New York money that I turned turned in to get the reimbursement, we're getting $63,394 back. I only spent a little over $8,400 in order to get that amount back, because, you know, the lion's share of it was the labor and our equipment. So, being we really didn't expend that money, I was talking with Harold, that extra, there's an extra 54,000, almost 55,000 that we can use towards, you know, whatever we want now as far as sealing roads and
We'll
stuff
use it
like
for
that.
next year's budget.
Well, I mean, you know,
I'm only kidding. You can use it for whatever you want.
well, as you just said, it depending
We're
on.
hoping this year to get some of these roads sealed up with that money. You know, I still have money left in my general
Yeah.
repair, because we certainly haven't spent it all yet, and kind of the weather. But if we had, you know, this amount of money, you know, maybe we don't have to spend every nickel of it, but if we could get some of these roads sealed up, it'd be better for us, because the roads that we got right now, we wanna keep them good, so if we
Oh,
can
yeah.
keep them sealed up, we'll be in good shape, so.
All right. I don't think I have too much to input on the supervisor's report. Been working on the village things quite a bit, you know, we've done the water meetings, we've done, working on the budget. We've had a budget meeting again last week, and it didn't look too bad last week when we got it all changed and rearranged and put down in there. It's still got some unusual portions that we gotta get added in, and we need some figures from the village to make it come out right. So we're working on that, and the water thing is still a problem. We just hope that the village will sell some items there that could have money to be set up toward the water business. That's kinda key, cause the lady we talked to, there's all kinds of things that may need to be done. Even she talked about the meters are getting old, and I thought, boy, we gotta start changing meters right away when we take over, or, you know, I don't know what they cost or anything like that, but there's some more deals there, even with the school system, that is the meter in the school actually working properly. She didn't think that it might not be, that it's, was it under galloning? So, if we're gonna change a meter, that would probably be the first and only one to change right off the bat, to make sure that it's probably working properly, but, all kinds of issues with the water for sure are gonna be. We're hoping that we're gonna win with it. The village, one of the things, the village has a target tax, where they can tax individuals, where we don't have that per se. Everybody gets taxed or nobody gets taxed, you know. And it's hard to target tax, like Jim Sayre would be a target tax person. And so it's hard to figure out what to do with him, type of thing.
Sure, probably tell you.
As an example, you know, because they target tax them, and they target tax the town of Benton for Banfield Square, and, you know,
Those folks that aren't on the water system.
those people that aren't on the water system. And, Barb Lawrence didn't even know that they target tax. I says, well, you gotta be. And she says, no, the county does it. Well, they don't, the village does it. So, there's a lot of things that's gonna come up with that part of it. Other than that, we're still gonna have more water meetings and a lot more budget meetings yet to see if we can get this thing. We worked at it pretty good the other day and trying to get it in the right perspective, but it looks like it's trying to work for us. And the tax rates weren't too bad, but. Acceptances of office reports as presented. Motion
I'll make the motion.
by Fred,
And second.
second by Penny. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Audit Committee General, this is Fred.
We had total expenses for the month, if I did the math right. $23,991.02.
Mine says 84.
You got it.
There's fire and
bunch of
code
sheets
also.
The biggest expense was the fire protection bond.
Oh, yeah,
Brush
yeah.
truck of $15,491.24. We received a check for that back in the beginning of the year, and the bond just came due, and we're now paying it. So that was the biggest expense. Other than that, it's the normal operating procedures that we have for the month, and everything looked in order. I've signed the bills, and I need the board to make a recommendation to pay the bills. Or make a motion.
Well, that's for the truck. Okay, highway, Harold,
The DA bills were $1,520.13, and the DB account was $28,621.83, for a total of $30,141.96. But we have to do a budget transfer, which I was kind of surprises me, but this machinery contractual expense, there's only $1,410.23 left in that account.
now, mine says 48.
I pulled one, it was one I pulled out
Oh,
till next month.
What was that total for DD again now?
$28,621.83. I'm holding one over for next
For
month.
what account, Harold, is over?
Machinery contractual expense. That surprises me that we're over, but we had a budget of $50,000, and according to
The
her numbers,
5130.4? 5130.4?
oh, let's see.
5130.4, the repair.
5130.4. It says here that we've used 97, if I'm reading this correctly. Or is that saying what's left, that's not what's left over?
No, that's the 90. That's accurate, yeah, we've used 97.
97.2% of the budget. That's surprising. I mean, we've had some repairs.
We have had repairs, but I don't know.
I didn't believe it was that. Yeah, well. I'll have to go back and.
Well, I mean, let's say that's what I looked at, each one of each month, I go through and see where, if we were over any items, and that one there was 97%. And by the time we're process these bills here, we're $109.90 short, so we need to transfer some money, probably, to cover them, and transfer some to get him through at least a couple months, I would say.
If there's more repairs to do. Let me see here.
So I don't know if you wanna take it over.
Trying to read, I can't get my finger to go fast enough. Well, we can take it from machinery EQ with there and just put it down there, there's 21,000 in that one.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, that probably would make the most sense, it's the same.
Let's move, resolution. 5218. Okay, let's, move 15,000?
Yeah, that should be enough to.
15,000 from 5130.2 to 5130.4. And sponsor,
I'll sponsor it.
Harold,
A second.
Fred,
From which one did you take it from, George?
machinery EQ, that's what they want to buy stuff.
Okay.
So we moved 15,000, then he only needed $100, so there should be some for repairs for the rest of the year, chains or whatever you gotta do before winter, you know,
Well, some of the,
that sort of thing.
snow.
There'll be more,
Huh?
there'll be more.
Yeah, I know there'll be more, that's what I said. So, roll call town board. Harold,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Andy. Aye. And Penny,
Aye.
and George, aye, carried.
And with that, I recommend they be paid.
Okay, we have approval and authorization to pay the bills of the meeting from Fred and Harold. I'll make the motion to do such. Second,
I'd second.
Penny. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay. Under old business. Is that you? Oh, no, that's mine. Purchase of land next to the highway department update indicates he spoke to the paralegal who was working on settlement of things, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We haven't even paid for it yet?
I guys need, the title has to be cleared out.
It's probably ours to begin with. Required in this case proved much more difficult than normal because title is conveyed so infrequent. Okay. I guess, so it's interesting,
I'm trying to keep up on it.
right? Who knows? Communications from audience, you don't want, and you're just gonna report? How about you? He's the reporter too? Very good. Did you wanna say anything? No? Where's Smite? He ain't here? I thought I saw him at work.
Talk about your target tanks?
Probably hanging around.
He was riding a scooter.
Yeah, I rode a scooter in the middle.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, then it was him.
Hit a milk crate, hit me with the bungee cords on it.
It must have been him, cause I thought, boy, that looks like him. Why, it can't be, he's riding a scooter. All right, it was him. All right, we'll move on to new business, I guess. It says bond for truck. We need a bonding resolution is what it's called, 53 of 18. To do a bond for the new truck. Trying to think,
I thought part of that was we were waiting on the new contract to come back.
didn't it, you get it already? Should've had the contract by now.
No, I don't have anything.
Aaron's got it. Yeah,
Okay, you didn't send it to me.
you sent it to him,
The
right?
old one, yes,
Yeah, and then he's supposed to get the new one to us again.
yeah, okay. He hasn't.
He hasn't done that yet.
No.
Oh, well, he's supposed to.
Mm-mm.
Huh. I thought that he'd have it by now. That was a week or so ago. I
It's been a couple weeks, yeah.
wonder if he forgot about it. It's kinda odd.
As we talked about it at the August meeting, said, let's get
Right,
that
right,
straightened out
right.
first before we move forward on the bond issue, so we,
I know.
make sure everybody was clear on.
Yeah,
We talked, some of the laws were discussed with Aaron through the
Yeah.
email exchange, how that was gonna be rewritten and what we could do and can't do. so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
huh. That's kinda weird that he didn't do that.
I will send him an email after this meeting for an update then.
Find out what's going on. So I talked to him, geez, I don't know, it was this week, but he didn't even say nothing. That's why I thought you already had.
No?
I should've asked him point blank when I talked to him. Ah. All these attorneys. Well, let's keep going then. Now the joint, we're gonna have a joint town village meeting. We should have a list of things, of questions that need to be brought up or clarified, I might say. You know, so,
I've been working on it.
Yeah,
I don't know
I know.
if anybody else has, but I've been working on it. I know Don has.
Questions you wanna ask the village?
Questions.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I think,
And,
moving forward, a lot of it's going to depend upon how they view the joint meeting and go from there. But
Right.
I think the only thing, Don heard from them, they was talking about the garbage. They wanted to know what we were gonna do with the garbage and how that was gonna be handled. That's the only question that they've sent to her so far, so.
I requested items, agenda items, and that's all they had,
okay,
so.
But I'm sure that we, I mean,
it's gonna be pretty much cut and dried on the garbage thing there. It's gonna be a 4-bag limit, and there's one one tax home, and that goes through the whole thing, kind of.
So, I mean, there's, you know, we've been working on some of the other items about the,
The lights, street lights
Street lights.
and cemetery business and all kinds of things we've been working on already, you know, trying to get a handle on all this stuff. I mean, that's a good question to ask is how many plots are already sold that aren't occupied yet this time? And, so that we know that how many more is gonna go and where they're gonna go and,
Did you get a map of
no,
nothing yet?
no.
map of what?
The cemetery?
No,
When
Because
I,
last time they
and then
were,
it's mixed up. They had a big map that they laid down the carwood, right?
when I met
Yes.
with,
But they didn't know if it was upside down or right side up.
Correct. Well, it was a whole bunch of papers put together, but since then Shirley and somebody else have been working on it, and the last I knew, there was something posted right on the wall down there.
there is, when I
Yeah.
met with Shirley, that there's the map for the Canfield section of it's on the wall.
Mhm.
And then they have a filing cabinet that has the deeds in it. And then they've got a card file for all the various spots, you know.
So it's actually a deeded plot that you're buying in real estate. Oh,
Yes.
Did you buy one yet?
no, I'm gonna be on my own property there.
Well, that's good, but I mean, that's, I
Throw me in
mean,
the burn barrel.
when I was talking with her and she was giving me some of the other information, that, she said the Canfield part of it is fairly accurate, and, Mount Hope is the one that has some issues with it, and they do have some of the maps with that, but they're the ones I think probably you see that were rolled up,
Right, right.
and so they, you know, they have them, but.
They do also have a detailed thing of the routing of the water lines and stuff hanging on the wall down there.
Oh, the individual flags, yeah. But in the upper portion there, I don't know if there's such a thing as a metal detector that would help find things that are buried. Cause some of the, what do they call them, vault things have re-rot in them and maybe it would pick up metal, but I don't know how deep they go.
Some of the newer ones, I don't know about the older ones.
Yeah, right, well, if there's older ones, then otherwise you'd have to take a rod and drive down and see if you hit something, I guess.
I don't, is there, that's something we probably need to look into if there's a firm that offers that service.
Right, that would be a good idea. I was approached by a guy that wanted to buy plots there, and I said, well, you might better wait a little while, he's coming back this next summer. So, see if we get it straightened out by then, but,
And again, I know that Dawn is written down some things of interest, I know she's talked with Heather, we've communicated back and forth, put on some items down there that we think that we need to talk about. So
Right,
there's a
right,
list
right.
of things,
I
and
think the
we
biggest-
need to get
The
some.
biggest thing on my agenda would be, how are you moving forward with what you're selling? You know, I know there's a purchase offer been placed on the village fire department property. I know there's some answers we need, how do we navigate through the old mill that was, you know, fire department supposedly just bought that. It's not owned by the town or the village or whatever, so there's some confusion in that we'd like to get some clarification.
They own it, I got a
Right.
copy of the.
Make sure that, now, you know,
So now
what's the
if-
intentions are of
if it gets
that.
sold, who gets the money?
Right, then we need some clarification on that.
I
The
mean, of course,
dissolution plan indicated that all of that would go to the special water
Water district.
fund.
Right.
We're supposed to be creating, that's what they agreed to.
The only thing I don't recall is in that dissolution plan is them talking specifically about that piece of property where the old mill
Oh,
was.
no, it's not on the
No, it's
list
not,
of
well, it's not the
properties.
village,
No.
Right.
the village doesn't own it.
that's what I'm
The fire-
saying, if it gets sold, who gets the money? I mean, they gotta throw it in a hat and jiggle it up, and this guy gets money, that guy gets money, the
Oh, I
members.
see, because of, yeah.
But there's someplace there should have been a deed transfer that shows who's the rightful owner of that property.
It does.
It does,
It
it
does.
shows
We've got a copy
the
of it.
I'm
company.
sorry.
Yeah, we do. No, we do have it.
But according to
It was transferred to the.
the lady in Erin, anything that was bought for the department automatically goes to the village.
Mm-mm.
You don't go home.
We've got a, Aaron answered that question. He said, as far as, now land, we don't know, that might be a different issue, but the other items that they've purchased as far as pumps, suits, et cetera like that, that become the property of the fire department. That was his opinion. I thought maybe,
Yeah.
I've got a copy of that here
That email,
someplace.
yes, I remember that
Yeah.
email
But
exchange.
that's, the village don't think that.
Pardon?
The village don't think that. They think whatever the fire department belongs to the fire department, and whatever belongs to the village. And they're gonna split it, and
Right, and that's,
the fire department keeps their stuff and the village is keeping their stuff. But they, right now, they don't know whose stuff is whose.
Right, that's the problem, and, but still, the members that bought that ground aren't the members that are there now,
That's correct.
you know, so that's why I'm wondering who gets the money.
well, it wouldn't, I guess you have to back up that, what money you're referring to, because if the purchase offer that's in on that property down there includes those three parcels across from Railroad Avenue. Two of the parcels the village owns.
Okay,
The one parcel is what the fire company owns. And that was his purchase offer, was depending upon all three of those parcels, so that's something that's out of our hands.
right, I
That's what
understand.
what the village, if they decide to accept that purchase offer, then it would be between them and the fire company to resolve that other section of the property. That's the way I would look at it.
Right.
Does that include the old jail or not?
No, the jail is a separate.
Separate.
That's the village, that one.
I've got, I'd say I should have shared it, in fact, I've got it here with me in the briefcase.
The only one was the mill, that was different, but they bought it from Deb Bailey at the time.
For $8,000, we found that out.
Yeah. So, who knows? Now it says VFW flags, they're doing a request.
For a donation,
Now, do we buy the flags? How did we do
I
that?
think it's a donation, I think we don't, how do we do that? There was something about it, I remember, I just can't remember how.
We had to
Roy
purchase
bought
them.
them,
We had to
and then
purchase.
You think you
we
buy
That's
paid
right,
it
we
and
can't.
We
donate?
gave them the check.
Right,
After you gave him the resolution
Yes.
for the certain amount, you gave him the check and he went to Walmart, I believe. or
Yeah, right.
someplace, and bought them.
Yep.
But they're asking that, this is for next year, for the next budget, I think. is
they're asking for 400.
400.
What did we give them last time?
250, something like
And
that.
obviously, they state the case that, because now we're all one entity.
oh, instead of two. Oh, okay.
So, and, so, to be honest, I,
My thing says 750, must be, I gotta go down further.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is.
That's
400.
total, they spend on the flags.
I don't, they said 400, I'm willing to make a motion at 500. Bump it up, to even 500, and,
Must be the end of the paper. This is for next year.
Mhm.
correct.
Resolution 54 of 18, oh no, 53.
Yeah.
We're gonna use that one again. 53 of 18 for flag. And he says 500 for VFW. And sponsor,
I'll sponsor it.
Fred? Second? I'd second that. Roll call town board. Harold?
Aye.
Fred?
Aye.
Andy? Aye. Kenny?
I have to abstain from treasurer.
Abstain. And George? Aye. Carried. And you VFW treasurer.
Yes.
Now, what'll happen is next year again, then Roy comes in the office and we bump into each other and say, hey, here's what you gotta do, and he takes care of it. So I think I made the check out to Walmart, didn't I?
You did.
All right, that's what I thought, because we're
Walmart
supposed
gave
to
us
buy
the
the
best
flags,
deal.
because we're not supposed to donate to the organization.
Right.
All right.
So we essentially make the check out to where they're buying them, they go pick up what they need.
Yeah, our only criteria for buying them is they have to be made in USA.
Right.
And
Oh.
we got brand new ones with the poles and Walmart gave us a smoking deal, that's why they went through
Now,
there.
somehow we missed, did you have any old business? I didn't ask a question when I got to that part. Nothing? You think that-
Well,
How about any new business?
I got, I got there.
Why are we still waiting on that tank?
It hasn't gotten delivered yet.
Cause they said it was a couple weeks out.
Oh.
And then the guy I was dealing with, he was out for almost a week sick.
Ah.
I wasn't, I didn't mean to insinuate on your end, I just was wondering what was going on.
No, it's in the works and I'm hoping it's gonna be here soon.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as old business, I like, you know, I know, we've done a lot of roadside mowing, and I'd like to comment, I think they've done a great job as far as mowing this year. I think I know you spent more time mowing it back, and it looks good, so.
Thank TJ, he did most of it and.
Thank you guys, you put me in a position.
The only other thing, old business was that you mentioned that when we did gain ownership of that property down there, that you thought of maybe using that for brush. And I don't know if that's, you know, if you had brush and limbs and stuff to pick up, to take down there, and it might work out eventually that if we could trust residents to take
Oh,
trees and brush and stuff down there,
No-
not garbage and
No
junk. and
built-in materials
Yeah.
or boards with nails and stuff like that.
Right,
So
I
that
think
might be,
we talked about putting
hard
a camera that way.
Yeah.
you know, to police it, but that was the other thing that he talked about, utilizing that.
some kind of marker, say, place brush here.
Because we've got a brush pile started out back now that we can move over, you know, to one spot in the field. And then we can start it there, because the stuff we get off the road, we need a spot to put. And then maybe next year, we can think about what we wanna do and have the village residents, if they got something through the year, if they got, like bags of leaves, sometimes they wanna put bags of leaves out, no place to put them. Go empty the bags out down there in a pile, and at some point, we can
Or,
get you folks to go burn it for us.
or the other option would be to, if the leaves, then we could take them over to the horse heads there, where they have the, come on, help me out here, where they do.
Oh, that they have their.
Oh, it's
Yes, compost pile and stuff, people can take it over there, so there's a possibility.
Then we gotta truck it. and
Well, I'm
transport it.
just saying, there's
We
another.
could burn it easier, probably,
Well,
and have a training.
I think, well, okay, a training,
You know,
or chip it with a.
One thing we possibly could do is, to really regulate it, is to say, in the spring of the year, we're gonna be down there on Saturday. We're gonna bring everything
Bring
you
it
got.
down, and then we can see what you got.
Right, and then it's closed. If there's something special happens, you need to contact the highway department, say, hey,
Come during
tree
business
came down, or
hours.
whatever, you know, I got a, you
Absolutely,
know.
that might
I
even
think
be
that's,
better than
might
just
be.
have it like a free-for-all.
And then in the fall, set up another date, bring down any brush that's fallen over the summer with storms, or, you know, your leaves, your yard cleanup, whatever, that's, you know, spring and fall.
But we can have it all summer long, if you got something that needs to go, call down,
Call,
say when you wanna bring it, and somebody will be there just to
Right.
see what you're dumping.
yep,
Or the village residents are so concerned about the garbage, maybe we can open up a landfill down there.
no,
No, not anymore. Down the road used to be a couple landfills.
yeah,
That's valuable real estate now.
Four bag limit.
Yep. One of them's being built on already, and then the one up here on the highway there was
Oh, that's up on top of beyond,
Vera Barnes.
Kramer Hollow, where the dogs chased Earl Bachelor off the builder. Yeah, had me quote with Merck Shoemaker.
I had new business, I had Don put letter to Sheriff Moss, and we talked about it earlier, and I'd like to, I guess, I'll try to put my words together so it makes sense, but I think the request that the town board authorize the town clerk to send a letter to the Chemung County Sheriff's Office and to start patrolling the village of Vannet and area. Not to set up radar for speeders, but show a presence in the village to help curb the increasing amount of drug trafficking in the village. Numerous residents have found needles and other paraphernalia in the area, in the village, and I think it's worth maybe the effort of writing a letter to the sheriff's department requesting it. And I was hoping that Brian Highland might be here tonight also, but maybe he didn't. I mean, and I'm gonna add that probably, as I said, our present judge has had opportunities to put some of these individuals in custody and has failed to do so. And they're out on the streets or hanging down around by the Dandy Mart,
In our
down by
park,
Jim Sayre's place and harassing, and it's a problem, and it's not going away, so a letter wouldn't hurt. That, again, we're looking for them to, have a presence to patrol maybe some of these streets during, if they're hanging around on Front Street, patrol there, be around the Dandy Mart, because we're hearing that people don't wanna go to the Dandy Mart at nights because you've got a half a dozen kids hanging around there
Even around the school.
and in school. So I think we should put a forceful letter requesting it and make it known that there's an issue. I know there's issues all over Chemung County, but there's issues here too, so.
Yeah. Should it be designed so that all of us sign it?
Yes.
That'd be fine. Good.
And, trying to think, I had some, I'll come back to it. Had a couple thoughts that kind of got going there, and then I lost every one of them.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of folks have noticed the mess down at the Banfield Square and the flower beds. But I don't feel, quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable putting my hands in there and digging around anymore because of the stuff
we
that's
found
been found.
numerous needles.
I'm very
in the
uncomfortable
park.
doing it, so it's just,
Well, that's where you come in, where you have, I'll have to find the number, I had it, where they don't come and take the needles out, but you're right, with the fentanyl that's out there, you don't want any of that getting on your system. I don't know how long it lasts if it's exposed to the air, but I know in Pennsylvania, they've had several people get quite sick.
Even officers.
That's what I'm saying, when the officers go into these places, they've gotten quite sick because of the fentanyl that's being used.
That's probably the least of the worries, it's probably the disease that.
Well,
whoever
that
uses
too,
it,
but
what you're
the
gonna get.
fentanyl though can be absorbed through your skin.
I just witnessed firsthand a drug deal in the post office parking lot.
Well, I don't be a bit surprised.
I did, I'm appalled, I just witnessed it this afternoon.
No.
But there's no prisoners, nobody's,
Just stand downtown, you can watch it all day long.
yeah, I was blown
Um,
away by it.
Well, that's where another thing, when maybe if you know of some places, they ought to call it, I even know, the more, I know I said we don't do much good if we just keep calling, but sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We should maybe just have every time somebody sees it, hey, call the sheriff department, call the state troopers, call both, have them on your speed dial on your phone. And I just, at such and such a place, and then we're having trouble, and maybe the more you see it, the more they hear about it, the more they'll have their presence. I don't know.
You're right, they come over here, they're gonna come over here and, drive around and try to pick up a speeder, or do this or do that. That's not what we're asking, and maybe it's crafted more to say, whatever drug task force you utilize, that's the presence we're looking for,
Right.
According to the trooper last night, he said the only way you're gonna get any help over here is you gotta go right to the commanding officer of the New York State Troopers. That's who you wanna send the letters to. You don't wanna deal with these locals.
Not even the Chemung County Sheriff? I mean, we pay the tax for them, right?
If you figure that
You
training
can send
class
two
starts
letters.
at the high
That's
school,
my thought.
that was put
Just
on by
say
the
two
troopers.
letters.
Send
One
to both,
each.
yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We've been dealing with it down on Front Street for a year and a half. And you get the sheriffs involved, and they tell you, tough. There ain't nothing we can do. You talk to the troopers on the road, and they say, we can't do nothing until our commanding officer puts his foot down. And you call them, and by the time they get over here, it's all over, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that Ithaca, they wanna have injection sites, duh. I don't know. It's kind of a sad deal, but we should send a letter to both, I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why not do that and everybody sign it, and just to say that drive-through, at least a drive-through once in a while, so they see somebody. It won't scare them any, cause they're very arrogant type people, and,
Oh, yeah.
They know when they're coming before the
Yeah.
troopers know they're coming.
yeah.
The minute it hits the airwaves, that, they know it. They stand on them cell phones down there 24 hours a day.
Yeah. You know, cell phones, you know, take a picture of that drug deal.
I
I
copy.
was, I put about 5, I'm sure, I couldn't believe it.
Once you send the official letters, I'd copy, like, I wouldn't hurt to copy Cruisin' and Santulli, we're in an election year,
Mhm.
you know?
And Brian,
You know, Brian and, you know, whoever else.
Someone wanna make a motion?
Motion to do it, or you want a resolution?
No, I motion to do it.
I'd sponsor a motion to do that. Second,
I'll second.
by Fred. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Who, you know, if it's starting to hinder business down at, you know, the Dandy, maybe we need to get Williams involved.
Didn't you say there's new signs up?
They put some
No
new
loitering.
ordering signs up, and I'm telling you, last night at dark, I think it's an attractant. It's like sugars for flies.
Oh, they're doing it because.
There was so many of them there last night, I left here, I didn't stop, because my filter was off, and I didn't figure the position I'm in, I need to say anything inappropriate anymore, like running over. But it's just sad, because there's a lot of elder people that are just not going to the Dandy now, because they're not gonna walk through these people.
And they're intimidating those kids.
And they know
Notice
it, they know it.
Some people.
Who's
Yeah.
I think it's worth trying to find out whoever that is handling that store for the area, not the manager on site there, who's above them to maybe say, this is what we're doing, would you like to, you know, give your 2 cents on it or whatever, you know you gotta be doing some business.
Well, they're gonna bounce it back into their local managers, and those ladies that manage down there gotta get in their car at 11 o'clock at night and leave, and they're scared. Cause I hammer on them all the time, I'm like, why are you not calling the cops? I can't call this TJ Swear up, because that don't mean nothing, you're the manager. They're afraid of repercussions.
Yeah.
This town is too small for people to be living and working in fear in this town, and it's sickening. It's enraging, actually, because we should be able to, I should be able to let my son go down there at 13 at night and get an ice cream cone. I won't do it.
At 11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock, you know, or 10 o'clock, or whatever, it's just,
Whatever.
it's that bad. I know everybody's not out at night, but like Jim said, he's been living for 2 years now with it right next door. The Dandy's been living with it about, it's that epidemic is getting that bad.
About the same time frame.
Yeah, it's just increasing, and then the revolving door in this room is not helping that, because now they're getting cocky, because they know that, so
You gotta
what?
send them to jail.
So what, I got 30 more days, I got 30 more days, I got 30 more days. That's as frustrating as it is seeing them down there in the corner. So it's bad. So hopefully, maybe, like say, a letter to both the lieutenant or whoever, or the troopers and the sheriff, and everybody sign it, and then people just start calling.
I think that's another thing, everybody, whoever sees it needs to call, whether they can get here in time or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but,
Yeah, but hey, stop and think about it. You know where I live.
yep,
You know where the drug house is next door. I call the troopers, they come over there and talk to them, and then they come to my house because I made the complaint. Now, what's that tell the guy next door?
You're gonna get the
They're
windows.
gonna get you.
Yeah.
I keep every goddamn door I got locked. Every car, every vehicle of mine is locked. I sleep with a goddamn loaded pistol under my pillow because I know sooner or later there's gonna be a shooting down here.
well, there has to be something we can do, we have to do something.
Well, it's a start anyway, so.
Yeah. So, that'll show that we're proactive, trying to save the village too, in a sense. Anything else?
I would like to move to go into executive
Okay.
session to include the town clerk and Heather Gable.
Okay. It's 7:46. And I'll second that. Harold said to go to executive session, I said second. And it's 7:46.
It's kinda dark out there in this parking lot too.